My name is Rich Pineda. We're here at my home studio in Yucca Valley, California. I have been painting off and on all my life, but seriously got into it after I started tattooing, which was about 4 years ago. I'd say roughly about 3 years seriously. I did a really good friend of ours. We got the collar made specifically for her to wear for this shoot. She just has a really pretty face and has got one of those type of looks that she can kind of do anything. So we put her in this kind of real dark, kind of themed collar for a piece. We wanted her to kind of have like a real raven type look to her. And she came in and we shot it at the shop, just in the back room, against the wall, just lit it how we really wanted it, just real dramatic to one side. And you know, got some great shots we picked from it, and this is the one we ended up choosing. And she's always great and down for whatever, so we'll probably be doing a bunch more with her. But I just got done painting this one, so now I'm just varnishing it out. So the inspiration for this is we were really just kind of looking to move into darker themes with my painting. Me and my wife try to now just use our own models and shoot everything ourselves, or have our friend Todd shoot it for us. Just wanted to go on a darker route, saw some stuff that came out of the movie Maleficent, and I just really liked the look of that, so I kind of wanted to paint something that kind of had that same feel. Almost like those real powerful shots of like dictators or any of that, those real up shots, balcony type shots, almost like a Princess of the Dark or something, you know, just real powerful shot. I was gonna make her eyes kind of devoid of any kind of anything, you know, and just make them just rounded out, kind of like hazed over, but we decided to go with just kind of like a teal kind of green, play off a purple of her lips, just to kind of not make it look too zombie type of thing. Which is awesome, but I just didn't want to go there with this one. So generally, where I derive inspiration for any of my paintings is just real life. Obviously, I do mostly realism. So just kind of like a lot of darker type imagery. I was just kind of one of those kids. Like I remember one Christmas, my mom asked me what I wanted, and I just said I wanted a black carpet, you know, and black walls. I was just kind of one of those kids that was really into that kind of darker type thing. I wouldn't say I was a gothic kid because I didn't dress like that, but just was really into that whole darker type feel type stuff. So that's why I think why now, when I think of the painters that I like, they all relatively have that same type of dark feel. Not that I would compare myself to any of those guys because they're all unbelievably amazing, but just as far as where I derive inspiration from is all from guys that tended to paint or draw darker things. There's definitely a lot of guys I look up to when it comes to painting and where I derive inspiration from, or guys I look up to, but Michael Husser is definitely one of them. David Stupakis is definitely another. Those guys have that type of feel that I really like in paintings, but also guys like Nico Hurtado and Carlos Rojas and Carlos Torres. Their painting skills are unbelievable. The stuff that they're doing is just makes me want to quit painting every time I see something that they post, but it's definitely keeps me motivated to keep pushing myself to try new things and learn more. But I definitely want to keep growing, keep learning. some other painters that I absolutely love that aren't alive anymore. People from the past is like Caravaggio or Rembrandt. They just had a certain feel and look to all their stuff that even when I was a kid, it scared me almost. There were things about it that was just so deep. I remember we had prints laying around in old posters, or in art classes. I used to see all that imagery, and I just was blown away by all the artists of that time, but especially those two. My art background from a young age comes from my family. They've all been artists one way or another. Growing up was pretty interesting. I remember my mom, she was really into art as well. She'd do a lot of painting and designing of dresses, but she would always complete them by, you know, designing what the dress would look on the woman, and she would take it to a whole other level just to design a dress. My great-grandfather, he actually started up the 20th Century Fox when he was pretty young, and then his son continued to make films even after Daryl had passed. He continued to make films as well. So it was really neat growing up in that type of environment. You know, I didn't really know how serious of a thing it was because it was just part of my family, just people that were in my family. But you know, it definitely had an influence on me because I wanted to aspire to be something. I wanted to do something as great as those people had done. They had left their mark on an industry that they had so much passion and love for. And not that I'm trying to do anything like that with my painting or anything like that, but it always pushes me to do something great, having those guys to look up to. They were definitely gigantic influences in my life and everything, just in being a person. Although they were just great people and were known as really humble people for doing so much in the industries that we're in. Most people would get a gigantic head about it, but they understood that they weren't doing anything really special. You know, it was better to be a special kind of person than it would be to just create something. They weren't curing cancer or anything like that. They knew that, but they were just unbelievable human beings. So that's a big drive right there, to just try to be a good person. This is a painting that I did a photo shoot for with my good friend Zoe. It's my friend Amber's daughter. We had her get into like an old 1920s kind of flapper type of thing. We're gonna have some more shots that I'm gonna paint that are gonna be bigger, but this one was just a close-up of her and one of the microphones that I had laying around, and we just basically just wanted to give it kind of like that old type feel. So I used, like, you know, just some greens, and it's just been super fun to paint. Some of the other mediums that I've done had a lot to do with how I made my money throughout most of my life. I did faux finishing for a lot of years. I also did a lot of graphic design type stuff, like on helmets, bikes, trucks, you know, motorcycles, anything I can get my hands on in that type of field. A lot of automotive stuff. In the 90s, I did a lot of like the paint jobs that the kind of like, you know, trucks had the teal with the big old, like, you know, waves going through it or whatever it was. Never really did anything like with, like, you know, howling wolves or anything like that on the back of like those big RVs and everything like that. But just that type of stuff, you know. I didn't really have any kind of like interest too much in fine arts at that point, because I was just kind of looking for ways that it would make me money. At that time, it was really hard to make money off any of the art that I was doing, other than just the helmets and the bikes and all that kind of stuff. You know, a lot of the other things that I did that led me into these type of things. I like to work with wood and metals, and I like hand hammering out like a lot of leather products and wrapping metal pieces around there. There were like gauntlets, like medieval gauntlets and that type of stuff. You know, just been interested in everything, but a lot of woodworking too. I worked for a custom cabinet company for a long time. And we did like custom doors that looked like they came from like old mansions and old castles, and we make them look really just more distressed even towards the bottom. They really looked like legit. And it just, you know, I still to today derive a lot of my influences in art from all the things that I did. All that stuff influences me even to today, just all the stuff that I did. I love to do that stuff, just don't have the time between tattooing and trying to find time for painting. As far as hobbies go, I don't really do too much stuff anymore, but one thing that has always been with me throughout my entire life has been my music. For a long time, I was trying to do that for a career, and for a hot minute, it was good. But of course, having kids and that type of thing will change your course in life and put other things into priority, so my music wasn't one of them. It just kind of took a back seat, but actually put together a studio a long time ago here at the house, and me putting together some more projects coming up. I haven't done anything in a long time, so it'll be fun to kind of get back into the studio and do that. I'd say my favorite medium would probably have to be tattooing. It opened me back up to all the other mediums, so when I think about it and I think about what drives me to even do painting, it always goes back to tattooing. It just kick-started my whole life into being able to make a living off of being an artist. And the funnest thing I can do is to put something on someone for the rest of their lives. They're going to have it, so it's also a very special bond that you have with the person that you're tattooing. They're not just people when they leave my place, they become a living canvas, and it's with your art. So I take it very seriously. I try to get better every day at it. You know, I've got a long way to go in all these careers. I feel like I'm a baby in every single one of these art careers, but you know, I'm going to keep on trying and keep on trying to get better and hone my skills every day, and just lucky enough to be able to do what I love on a daily basis and support my family in the process. Gosh, I know so many people that hate their jobs. I'm just lucky enough to have one that I truly love, and it's given so much to me.
Very thirsty. No beverage in particular I like to drink. Refreshing.
It just becomes hard, difficult to make the time.
You guys are scaring me with you.
Quietness.
Between the Rockstar energy drinks.